see us as well. Hello, everyone. All right, I'm just gonna, I'd like to introduce myself. Let's start there. Hi, I'm Kayla Shivji. I am a spiritual coach and a psychic channel, and today I'm here to pull some cards and channel about what the energy of the week has for us. So I'm really, really excited to be here. This new moon was really deep for me. It was very emotional and I had a lot of fun. It was a great weekend, and today I'm just feeling a little tired. And so today I'm planning on resting and really taking care of my body, and maybe getting some of these insights and inspirations down on paper. And so I'm really thankful for this weekend. And I'd love to hear how your weekend was as well. How did the new moon go for you? What came up for you? What are you sitting with this week? So I'm going to shuffle up my cards. This is the Ostara Tarot deck, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And let's pull two cards for the energy of the week. Ooh. Having a couple cards pop out. Hey, Iaz, how are you? There we go. Here's our cards. We have the Two of Swords, which I think made an appearance last week, didn't it? And then we also have Death, which I don't think it was Death last week. I think we got the Devil card last week. But these, hello, Dave. Is that your name? Hello, everyone joining me. It's good to see you. I'm good. I'm really good. The kids are downstairs hanging out, and we are just gonna play and relax and maybe watch a movie. So I'm very excited. This week, our energy, piggybacking off of the new moon, definitely brings in that death and rebirth element. Hey Joyce, how are you? And then this kind of warns us of keeping our eyes closed, willingly staying in the dark because it's uncomfortable to face the truth. This is the element that's necessary in order to move through the death process and to tap into that rebirth, right? So this is kind of a personal share, but I feel like it's very relevant to this reading, and then I'll go into a little bit more channeling. But at one point this week, I was feeling a little overwhelmed with all of the responsibilities that I have in my world, and just trying to stay on task, stay on top of everything. And of course, I'm implementing new things and new systems in order to help me manage all of this, which is always incredible. But at one point I said to my guides, well, can I just like hide from the world for a while? Can I just like hunker down and allow this period to pass over me? Can I just take a break, right? And my guide said to me, yeah, you can, but then you'll miss all of the beautiful opportunities and all of the blessings that are already headed your way. And so the moral of that, what I just immediately began to understand even more, was that when we come into these places of resistance within us, it's easy to shove it aside. It's easy to bury what's coming up for us because it's uncomfortable. It's easy to stay in the dark, right? But when we do that, we miss all of these incredible blessings. So if you've been wanting a more elevated life, if you've been wanting to manifest certain things, if you've been wanting to just have more ease, more flow, more spontaneity, whatever it is that you've been asking for, the new moon is that time of planting the seeds. And so we want to go into the earth. We want to bury these seeds deeply, plant them grounded, right? And while they're sitting in this darkness, while we're willing to wait through this uncomfortable period of new growth, this seed is able to bloom. But we have to be willing to go through this process ourselves. When we ask for that expansion, when we ask to bring in new things, we are also initiating a process of bringing up the energy within us that doesn't match what we desire, right? And just to use an example, because sometimes I'm not sure if my thoughts translate well. Okay, so for instance, I'm manifesting a new home for my family. And so when I began this process of manifesting a new home, I knew that this is going to be like a very big endeavor. Where I was at my life several years ago when I began this process, owning a home seemed incredibly out of reach, right? And so I started to dig in. I started to do that inner work. I started to reflect and journal on these aspects of myself that didn't believe it was possible for me to have my own home. Didn't believe that I was worthy of my own home, that I could take care of my own home, right? All of these weird beliefs. But also in this process, I had to confront my inner child. And I had to get really accustomed to facing these uncomfortable places within me, these edges, these places that when you come into contact with them, it feels very tender, right? It can bring up emotions of shame, it can bring up guilt, it can bring up anger or sadness or grief, all of these things that we like to keep locked away because then we don't have to face them. But when we are not willing to shed, then we're also carrying all of this baggage with us. In this process of manifesting, which the new moon is beautiful for, we are essentially saying, this is what I want. Help me to become that vibrational match. If we're holding on to the baggage, there's just too much weight. We can't carry it forward into these desires, so that causes this sluggish energy within us. It puts us in this precarious situation because we're unwilling to see. We don't want to face it. And in doing so, we're kind of just leaving it all to chance. Just whatever happens, happens. I'm just going to stay hunkered down and I'm going to survive. And that's wonderful to an extent. But when you're ready to move past that survival, when you're ready to really stretch that comfort zone, you're ready to take on new and bigger things. Perhaps you're going to college and you really want to get the degree, or you really want to get that promotion at work, whatever that next level looks like for you, right? It's going to require you to shed some of this weight, some of this emotional baggage, some of the attachments that we carry, some of the just the energies of our past. We have to be willing to shed those in order to step into what's available for us next. And in that process, we have to go through this death cycle. And that can be really intimidating for a lot of people, understandably. It can almost feel like an identity crisis, because what you're doing is you're shedding all of these layers that are no longer you, and then you're tapping into who you truly are. And at your soul essence, you are an incredible, powerful being. You have this energy within you. So when you begin to shed these limiting beliefs, when you begin to shed all of this nonsense that society and just the human experience brings along with it, right? We are able to then understand more clearly. Before we can get that clarity, before we can reach that next level, we have to get a little uncomfortable. We have to be willing to say, okay, I'm being reborn. I'm willing to sit with this. I'm willing to feel this. I'm willing to face this. I'm willing to see this. And seeing what we've allowed to happen in our past, we're able to release it. We're able to shift the story. We're able to take our power back. And in doing so, then we can take that power that is rightfully ours and use it in the direction that we want, the one that we choose. And so instead of just allowing these patterns and these beliefs to continue to play out in your world, whatever these energies are, be willing to face them. Be willing to see them. Because in seeing so, it gives you that awareness and it gives you that power to make a change. So that's the first step. Be willing to see, be willing to face the discomfort, and allow the death process to occur. And so when I say the death process, I want to be clear. The death cycle is just that shedding of old energies, like a snake would shed its skin and then have beautiful new skin, right? So this death process isn't a physical death, it's that ego death. It's dying to the attachments of who you thought you were or how you thought things had to be in order to welcome in the truth. Being willing to shed first in order to step into the light, in order to gain more clarity, in order to see your truth, in order to witness your desires coming to fruition. So, last bits of guidance for this week ahead. We have been through an incredible transmission of energy over this past week. And I mean, this has been in the process. 2021 is a very energetically charged year. So I don't want to brush over that. And we have also been witnessing our truths more and more in an individual level, but also on a collective level. We've been facing these hard truths. We've been looking at issues such as the racism problem, and some of these, I'm in America, so some of these bigger issues that are really coming to light, and just this understanding that comes with that we have this potential to do better. And if we're unwilling to address these issues, then we're just allowing them to continue. We have to be willing to address the issues in order to create a change. And that's what this week is really helping us do. It's helping us to nurture those seeds of intentions, nurture those manifestations that we've been creating for this new moon. And it's allowing us to witness the depths, witness the impact that this has. So the questions that you could ask yourself this week is, what's coming up to be released? What have I been experiencing that I'm no longer willing to experience? This is bringing in that element of bare minimums. So if you're unfamiliar, that's okay. But bare minimums would be something like non-negotiables. This is something that I require. My body requires a certain amount of water each day. That's what my body requests of me. So I want to give that to my body, right? Some of these experiences that I had in my past, such as living conditions, relationships, how I allowed myself to be treated, I'm no longer available for that. My standards have shifted. My bare minimum has changed. I'm no longer willing to be treated in those ways. I'm no longer willing to maintain those kinds of relationships. I'm no longer willing to live in these conditions. And so when my bare minimum changes, my energy needs to match that. And so bringing in this energy of what you desire as you're shedding and releasing these things from the past is going to help you to really just embody this next level for you. So spend some time in nature, nourish your body, do a little bit of journaling, sit with yourself around these energies. What questions does this bring up? What energies are being released from your world right now? And then most importantly, stay tuned in and connected to your authentic self. This energy that exists within you, your soul, it's always available, and it is your connection to God, Source, the divine, whatever word you use to describe that energy and relationship. So that is the energy for this week. It is going to be extremely beautiful. I think it's going to help to just have more of this awareness, more of these realizations. And of course, with this new moon being in Cancer, very emotional time as well. I feel the emotions rising within me already. So allow these emotions to come out. It's helping you to purge and to release. I am heading over into the Facebook group right now. I am going to do Spiritual Sunday, which is just where we have like a conversation about different topics related to spirituality. So I'd love to have you join me over there. There is a link in my bio, or you can DM me and I can maybe send it to you real quick. Otherwise, if you would like to have a personal session with me, I do one-on-one sessions where we can pull some cards, channel some guidance, chat a little bit. Those are available on my website. And if you're curious about one-on-one coaching, which is where a lot of magic happens, I'd love to have a conversation. Please please message me and we can chat a little bit, get to know each other, and see how things go. Otherwise, enjoy your week. Thank you for being here with me live today. I appreciate each of you. I'll talk soon. Bye.